Welcome to the Nerd House with your hosts JD51 and Ash. On this episode, the Nerd House reviews James Gunn's Superman. Enjoy!
When I watch a Superman film, I want to walk away inspired to be a better person.
Yeah.
I want to be a better man, a better husband, a better leader. And this film does not leave me in that place. Nothing is serious, everything is goofy, everything is silly, and everyone acts like a child in the film. And that's a contrast with this film and the Snyder Man of Steel. Even if you don't like that film, at least it was serious. At least you had adults in the room. With the moment I checked out was the moment where they're in the Lois's apartment and she's interviewing him, and that's fine. I don't have any issues with that. But the dialogue was just so very juvenile and immature, and I guess it's the dialogue of Superman himself. He kind of loses his cool over mean tweets and, anti-Superman posts on the internet. Mm-hmm. And that's so below Superman. That's so below his character. I was asking myself, what would Christopher Reeve's Superman do in an age of tweets? He would ignore them, and he would continue to do what's right, regardless of how it made him feel.
Yeah.
So the movie had a hard time pulling me in, and again, the movie may have been made for a different generation, not me, not someone that wanted something of substance, nothing. I wanted something serious. I wanted something awe-inspiring, which I come to a Superman movie to find, and I did not get that here.
Yeah. So I look at this similar to, okay, I'm jumping brands, but just bear with my illustration. So growing up, Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man.
Yep.
That was just it. Okay. He was the best Spider-Man. I originally didn't even watch the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, and I told you I'm not watching them. And then
I don't really know why.
I didn't feel like that he looked like a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't feel like he did not fit my image of Spider-Man because Tobey was Spider.
Right.
Then we get the most recent, and we have Tom Holland, and I had very low hopes. But I felt like he really worked in the universe that he was in because he was a child. He was a teenager trying to figure this all out in an adult world. And I think you got to see something grow, and I enjoyed that. And we went back, and you made me watch the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, and I ended up loving them, by the way. They're amazing. But
they're good. They're not amazing, I would say, but they're
good. It took me letting go of what
your preconceived ideas.
Yes. Yeah. It made me let go of Tobey and say something else can happen. Yeah. So we all know I love Henry Cavill's Man of Steel. One of my top three movies.
It's the shoulders.
Top 3 movies of all time. Okay.
Really?
It is one of my top. So one of my top of all times.
That's interesting.
It's up there. Okay.
Okay.
So I knew I was going to have to let go.
You have to let go
of Henry. I was going to have to take all of my Superman.
No.
I mean, yeah, and accept that they were putting someone new on here.
Yes.
But I hated all of this. Like there was none of it that I cared for. You and I kind of spoke last night on the way home after watching this movie. I think they needed someone who looked more different. He looked a little bit too much like a young Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And because he played a goofier version, it came off as a caricature.
Right.
It came off as like, I'm dating myself, so fair warning, not another teen movie version of Superman.
Right.
it was because the guy who played Perry in this one looked way too much like the guy who played Perry in Henry's. Lois Lane, you said, looked like a young Monica Geller from
Yes,
Friends,
and
and
that-
acted like her. And
Yes,
it was
exactly
so
her. Like, I think
the white
they said,
shirt and black pants. I mean, all
Yes,
she needed,
with
she even
her-
had on a vest.
with her character, and we'll get to what you're saying a second ago. If you watched Friends, and I did not grow up watching Friends, so don't think that I'm a Friends fan. If you watched Friends, it's almost as if they put in old episodes of that show, and James Gunn told her to
Do
act
this.
like her. We're going to dress you like her. We want you to act like her. They even made the apartment look like their
Yeah,
apartment.
similar.
Not as
Features.
well lit. And there were even times where, if you watch Scream, you hear her as a reporter.
Uh-huh.
And it sounds like she's doing an impression of what that actress
Yeah.
sounded like.
Yeah.
But that goes back to everyone in the movie feels like a caricature of a better person, but that's been previously done.
Right. And because of that, and because the movie is a lighter-hearted movie,
Right.
it comes off as you are spoofing
Yeah.
Superman. And I did not grow up in the comic world, so the things I have come to love of comics, I hold very tightly, and I am very guarded of them. And one of them is Superman. On the other brand, Captain America. I feel like if
But
you...
you're drawn to those patriotic, inspiring characters who
Right,
stand
and-
for something important.
Right. And I feel like if you mess with those,
Right.
you completely break the heart of the brand. They're your true north. And here, when you're making this such a spoof, it, to me, is setting up this world that I cannot follow you in. It's just, we talked about even like, you see way too much. It's like Guardians and Superman had a baby, and it did not turn
It's
out
an
well.
abomination, yes. Yeah.
And I loved Guardians. I
Yeah.
think, but see, we talked about this last
But
night.
it
The
fits
reason
his-
Guardians works
right.
is because it's the levity in a serious world.
Right.
So this was the wrong,
Yeah.
if you would have done like a funny Justice League or a funny something else in a serious world, it would have worked, but you're
Maybe.
starting off
That's the
not
problem.
serious.
Well, that's my problem is this. I grew up with Batman the Animated Series, and I grew up with the animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, I believe. So I come with those preconceived notions and ideas, and those were animated shows that took themselves very seriously.
Yes.
And you had silly characters in those, but you didn't feel like you were watching a Saturday morning cartoon. So that is what I want out of DC. Now, do I mind humor? No. Do I
Yeah.
mind silly characters? No. But you can't just have everybody being a goofball. And though I like the innocence and the sweetness of this Superman, the Boy Scout aspects of him, he still didn't quite stand for anything. There was no
Right.
inspiring moment where he said, "This is who I am. I don't move." And he was back to the battle of the tweets and the internet posts. He's wishy-washy. I can't have wishy-washy Superman and wet toast Batman saving the universe.
Yeah.
But everybody in this movie just felt like this. Hey, don't worry about what you see. This is not important. We'll take care of it. It'll all work out. Don't take anything seriously. Just check your brain at the door, and enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy in the dressings of DC.
Yeah.
And I can't stand that.
And again, it's Guardians worked for what it was, and
Right.
I enjoy Guardians. And like the last Guardians, I told you was the backstory I didn't know I ever wanted, but now I love.
Yeah.
And so I totally believe in James Gunn's filmmaking abilities. It's not that it's
But
this.
I think he has a specific type of film he can make.
Yes, and I just believe that if you're starting the DC world over, and you are going to make this and try to give DC something that Marvel gave us for 10 years, then this was the wrong start, because you've started off goofy and you have nowhere else to go, because you can't go goofy then go serious, because you're going to lose everybody. Right. You needed to set the pillar to hold everything, and this pillar sucks.
Well, this movie, and by the way, Marvel's given us almost 20 years.
I was just talking about the 10 period years where we went from the first Iron Man
That's
to
2007, 2008.
Okay, yeah, but it's been several years now since Infinity War. It was 10 years between the Iron Man and Infinity Wars.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That period, that's the period that Ash knows.
I got you. Okay. This is the problem. And I was thinking this as I was watching the film. This film feels like a bad sequel to a good movie.
Yeah, kind of like that straight to DVD.
Right. So I kept thinking there's a movie that happened before this that would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
The introduction of Lex, something happened between Lex and Superman that makes this movie want to exist. Something that happens with the Justice League friends, United, whoever they are. I can't even remember.
Justice Gang.
The problem is if you make a sequel and it's good, which could happen, they could change a few things and make a good sequel. But the problem is this movie is forgotten.
Yeah. And I think something that you said is nothing happens. Like, you spent all this time watching this movie. And I'll be honest, I don't mind that you start off with him losing a battle. Because
not necessarily.
I don't mind a little moment of humility.
That you're just being introduced to the character. That's
but I mean, I think they're the way they start this movie with the text, and they're giving you kind of a brief text version of his background. They're playing on the part that you at least know something about Superman. You're coming in with some kind of notion of who Superman is and what he does. And so because of that, I don't mind that you have the loss, but I want to see him stand back up, redouble down on his truth, justice, and American wayness.
But he doesn't even have that in this movie.
But I'm saying this is what I want.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And then you see him become this pillar to stand upon and build this universe off of. And I just don't see it happening. I mean, he's such a weak Superman. Like, and not just physically weak. But like, when the dog takes him to Elsa's castle and you've got the robots and they're like, do you want us to put on your parents' message? It comforts him. Ooh. Yes, and I'm just like, for the love of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
I will say he's not treated like a man throughout the movie. No. It's almost like the joke that when a wife gets sick, or it's different when a husband gets sick than a wife.
Yeah.
When the husband gets sick, he wants his mom.
Yeah, the wife has like triple pneumonia and had her arm taken off by a polar bear, and she's still cutting grass. But the guy has a sniffle, and it's like...
It's that kind of joke.
Yes, it is. He is such a weak-willed, I will say. Like, when I think Superman, I think manly of manlies, strong...
Right.
Like,
but he's not like macho.
He's not macho, but he's strong. He's sturdy.
Yeah.
He's sturdy. He's sturdy. He's what you can bank on.
That's a sturdy man.
I wish I had something to throw at you right now. But anyway, I find that like he's just so weak, and it's just like even in like his relationship with Lois, it's he can't handle her asking questions. He can't handle anybody pressing on him or questioning him. And it's just, that's not who he is. He was not a fickle person, and they have made him a very weak, fickle person. Yeah. And I don't like it.
I will say, just really quick before we kind of talk about plot points, because there's one or two things I really want to discuss. I didn't mind him and Lois's relationship in general. It wasn't very well developed, but I didn't mind them together.
I don't ever mind him with Lois. I did not like her Lois and his Superman. Because I'm sorry, once Lois knows that he is Superman, and she is with him, she is like #1 fan. Like, and this lady was just like, she wasn't. And then like, I'm sorry, Lois would have knocked so many holes through all those plot points.
Yes.
She was
Okay, I will
she was
say-
not a reporter.
all right,
She was
yes.
like copy girl.
Okay, when it comes to that, that brings me to my biggest issue with this film. And this irritates me. So the main issue that kicks this movie into quote unquote high gear, if it has a high gear, was the family's message to their son, Superman, that they sent him to the planet to lead them, right? But then the message is messed up. Now, all of Superman's super awesome robots and his tech that he's had could not fix this message.
Nope.
But the minute Lex Luthor comes in there with spiky mech
Saw
girl,
hands.
saw hand mechanical chick,
Whose head comes out of her butthole.
I'm not going to cut that out. Sorry. But anyway, let me finish my thought. Okay. Lex is able in, 5 minutes to not only get the message, hack in, get the message, he's also able to find the remaining parts of the damaged message. And shocker, Lex goes on TV and shows it to everybody, and it says, Superman is here to have lots of wives, make lots of babies, and repopulate the earth and take over.
Kryptonian DNA.
So what's the issue with that? Everybody in the movie just trusts Lex Luthor to say, "That's right, he did it. He was able to fix the message, and now everybody has to believe this and hate Superman." And then I know you have that one line from Mr. Phantasmo, fantastic.
Oh, that was terrific.
Terrific.
That's terrific.
Yeah, it's a T. That's right, Mr. Terrific, who was
the T.
Who was probably the best character in the film.
For real.
He says he has this line. Well, I know those guys. I trust them. It's true. Like, that's it.
They're not going to say that if it's not true.
Yeah. Okay. This is Lex Luthor. Batman would not put up with that crap. Okay.
He's Mr. Supervillain. He's probably just throwing some Benjamins at him.
Everybody just trusts Lex. Like oh yeah, that's right. So Lex couldn't even lied that he used this special team to decipher the message. Nope. Look, Lex is a supervillain. We're going to trust him in this moment, but never again. I'm sorry, but that irritates me. And the fact that you have Lois Lane, who is supposed to be the world's greatest reporter, not even questioning it. She questions Superman and nails his rear end to the wall. But when it comes to Lex Luthor promoting the fixed message to the world, she's like, I just can't believe that's crazy.
Well, I mean, she didn't even try to debunk it.
She doesn't at all.
She goes to the
That's the
compound to
movie.
find him, not to debunk the rumor.
Yeah. Does she go to the ice castle?
No, she doesn't go to the ice castle. She goes to Lex's compound and finds the pocket world. So she's going to search for Superman.
Yeah, anyway.
Because he's been held
But
prisoner.
just-
But she
that
doesn't try to
irritates
debunk
me.
the message.
And the fact that it's left out in the open and is never resolved that his parents actually sent him here to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I know that there are comic books where that may or may not have taken place, but I'm sorry, you just changed a major part of who Superman is by corrupting one side of his family. Mm-hmm. And so now his Kryptonian ancestors are really disqualified from having any part of the future films because they're evil, right? From a
Yeah, because
moral
doesn't it even
standpoint.
say to dispatch those who don't fall in line?
I mean, yeah. So now this leads us to his earthly family. Ashley, what are your thoughts about Mama and Pawpaw?
Oh my gosh, it was so irritating. The fact that they made them so stupid and so, again, it's caricatures. They took what they think the typical Midwestern,
Right.
Southern, hillbilly, hick people are, and that's what they did. I mean, the scene where Mom is leaned over the table yelling at the phone,
Yes.
and then Dad can barely string two words
He's a
together.
mumbler.
it's not even that he mumbles. It's like he can't get the words out. Like he's not even smart enough to get the words put together. And it's just, it's irritating because if you're going to make his alien family dirtbag scumbuckets,
you've got to have
then
a
you
strong
have to
earthly
give
family.
him an amazing earthly family that turn him into the amazing human he's supposed to be.
Yes.
Because
he's got to have one or the other.
yes, like
I want him to have both.
You know,
but
we
he's gotta
have
one or
friends
the other.
who dish on the other one because they don't like the way that dad dies.
I get it. Or
I
says
get it.
things he says.
I get it, but the relationship that you see with them as he's growing up, when he gives them those
important
little
and good.
nuggets of
Yeah.
you get to choose the type of man you're going to be, you get to choose the type of impact you're going to have on this
Right.
world, you know, that your character is not where you come from, it's who you decide to be. You need those moments.
Right.
They're so awesome, and you just
Yeah.
pooped on it.
Yeah.
Like our cat taking a dump pooped on it. And it was just, it was bad.
The thing that gets me is you do have that moment where Superman, yes, this is a serious movie that you should really be taking seriously, is sitting in the chair in the front of the house, eating a bowl of cereal and with bare feet. Okay, don't necessarily have a problem with that, but then mumbling dad comes out and kind of mumbles out. Superman tells him that his family sent him here to be like, you know, a ruler. And mumbling dad says something to the extent of, you have to choose who you, parents are not here to decide what their kids do. We're just here to give you the tools to mess your own life up or something like that. And I was like, man, that makes me feel inspired.
I mean, not even like give you the tools to make the best of this world.
Yeah.
It's give you the tools to mess up.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Thanks, Dad. Yeah. So
you're not in charge of the Hallmark cards.
no, and that's what's frustrating this is what's frustrating. This is what's frustrating. You have destroyed his Kryptonian family. But now, for every movie that comes after this is his family.
Yeah, you've made a mockery of
And
his
you
Earth
have
family.
you have established weak characters that he can't necessarily. You're not going to get anything of substance from.
Yeah, he's going to have to build a snowman.
I will say when they bring Superman back to his bedroom, and Mama is like loving on him, and Dad's like, "Isn't my boy gonna be okay?" I was just, oh man, my eyes rolled.
Maybe that's why he's such a weak Superman, because he had such a weak dad.
I don't know. And look, it just goes back to what we said. Every person in this movie is a caricature of either a better story and storyline that has come before it, or it's a caricature of what James Gunn and Hollywood think about certain people.
Right. Because I mean, even in the reporters. Okay, so you've got Lex's girl, who's the social media obsessed person,
man.
and she again is just a caricature, always taking selfies and all this kind of stuff. And then you've got the reporter with the really bad blonde wig and the boobs pushed up to her nose,
Existed for no reason.
who has no other point other than
does
to
nothing.
have boobs pushed up.
Well, she just jumps up and down and
With her boobs pushed up.
Yes.
I mean, that's it. That's her only purpose. It's cleavage.
Yes.
And it's ridiculous. And it's like, I mean, even the dog is ridiculous. And it's just,
yeah. So I will say Jimmy Olsen, the redhead, he was probably the better character of a whole gang because he was more level-headed and down to earth. But the sports anchor guy, he didn't need to be there. The blonde didn't need to be, or the white-wigged blonde didn't need to be there. And everything is just it's to the extreme. And I know that they, as we said last night, they were trying to make a contrast between this film and Man of Steel, but they went so far in the other direction that it just completely turned me off.
yeah,
Right.
I agree.
So do you want to talk about Crypto, the puppy, for a few minutes?
Okay. I was kind of excited that we were going to have Crypto. I was like, that's going to be adorable. And I was hoping it was going to be a cute little puppy. We'd get some fun antics, but it would also be kind of, again, serious.
Sweet, serious, okay.
The dog's annoying as crap. And just basically bounces all over the place. Like, even the first scene when you get him, like, okay, your dog is your mate, man. They love you when nobody else does.
Well, yeah.
And this dog just runs and basically, like, what you would do if somebody's dying and you needed to jumpstart their heart. And I mean,
I will say,
broken in the
that
ice and the
moment-
dog is just jumping on him. And
That
it's
was
like,
kind of funny, but the problem is it never stopped.
yeah,
And it's like that throughout the movie.
yeah,
And the dog bugs me because, like, when you have, like, when you think of Ragnarok, every serious moment in Ragnarok, it's serious for 0.3 seconds, and then it's a poop joke. In this film, you have a serious moment at times, and the second you start to realize, oh, this is serious, the dog jumps in and does something ridiculous. It's like that's the pressure relief valve. And I wish the dog just didn't need to be in there that much. It was just too much.
yeah.
I liked the moment when he is at home and the dog is on his chest. And my brain said, why don't you introduce him there? Maybe he stays around, he's a normal dog, and he stays around his farm. And that's where you're first introduced to him. And maybe then he follows him back to the castle or something. But having that dog in every 5-minute scene was so ridiculous. Now,
And that's like the only thing he gets mad about. Like,
oh yeah,
he doesn't get mad about
where's my dog?
the fact that Lex Luthor's going to annihilate an entire country. It's like, what'd you do with the dog?
Yeah, people
Which,
are about to be
don't
slaughtered.
get me wrong. I like the dog. Let's not get PETA after me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we like dogs. We had one. He was best. She was the best dog ever. But the thing that Superman gets angry about in this film is the dog.
Yeah. What'd you do with my dog?
And there's more. He just gets provoked over the simple thing. And I understand he needs to save his dog, but it was just too much, too heavy-handed with canine tomfoolery, and in an already overly saturated, silly film.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to talk about. What did you think about Lex Luthor? Your nose is curling.
I think because, again, this feels like a bad sequel to a movie you never saw. You feel behind the whole time because you just don't get it.
Yeah.
And, you know, in Man of Steel, when you're Lex, you kind of build to see why he gets as whacked out as he does.
Kinda.
But in this, you just have this, he looks like a snotty prep boy who is all...
Screams at people.
Yeah, all he does is, and is such a little brat that, you know, he doesn't like his girlfriend, so he puts her in jail in the pocket world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
If you're that petty, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
My
it's
problem
ridiculous.
is I want Lex Luthor to be stoic, to be, I want him to live inside his head
Yeah,
and be terrifying in his presence.
right.
And this character is just,
Petulant child
yeah.
who didn't get, who's mad because somebody else has a different toy.
right. So, is it better than, is it Jesse Eisenberg who played Lex? I think it's just, again...
I think he just annoys me, in like his little it just annoyed me, like when he would kind of giggle. But I think he was a better Lex Luthor because there was this slight
he's manipulative and he's...
insanity twinge and this manipulation where this guy just felt like
I'm gonna
the...
scream at people.
Okay, I didn't go to prep school, but it feels to me like what I imagine the guy who wanted to be top dog in prep school and wasn't, and so now he's just attempting to make everybody miserable because he wants to be top dog. But it's really just this, like, he just needs to be knocked down a couple rungs. But he's not, like, manipulative. He's not...
Right.
Like,
it's all
almost
force.
like this intelligence. When I think of Lex Luthor, I think of this, like, super high intelligence that's almost bent to madness, and that obsession with Superman and how he works drives him to do the things he does. Where this guy just played off as jealous,
maybe, yeah,
and
right.
you know, not. I didn't get. Yeah, he's rich and he makes these tech things, but I mean, I just didn't get that. I don't know.
Well, again, nothing is serious in this film. So nothing is serious and everything's a caricature. There was the one moment where I wanted the movie to give me a good payoff with Superman is the moment where the terribly contrived country is invading the other country, and all of the people that live on that in the Bravia, something like that, starts with the B.
No, the Bravia is the ones that attack him.
I don't know.
The Jarampur or something like that.
And these made-up words that James Gunn loves. But anyway, the little boy raises the homemade flag that has that Superman symbol on it and starts chanting Superman or something like that. And it's a moment of desperation, but does it get a Superman payoff? No, it gets...
Well, you even have it ramped up because you see the soldier lining him up.
Yeah, you see it in the background.
Like the soldier's
it's the one moment.
Kid.
Yeah, it's a threatening moment. That is the moment where Superman you should hear a sound, breaking of the sound barrier. Superman comes in and either takes out the soldiers or grabs the kid. That's the moment where...
We've just seen him save a squirrel.
Well, in film, it's called the save the cat moment. That's where the hero does something that gets the audience on their side. Superman should have flown in, boom, saved the kid, stopped the soldiers, and taken names, or then given it over to the super squad, whoever. But you have Nathan Fillion, who I love, steps in and says, "No Superman today, kid. You're getting an upgrade," something like that. And look, I'm fine with the other characters. They were okay, but this is not their movie. This is supposed to be Superman's movie, and I'm supposed to walk away from this going, I love Superman. And instead, I just walked away going, I loved everything that came before this movie. So.
There were moments that I felt like they could have done something and made it amazing, or at least made it better. Like when you have his interaction with the Justice Gang, if you would have thrown in a couple little one-liners about their background together, if you would have had a stronger willed Superman, you could have dealt with all the levity. Or if you had a good earthly family, you could have dealt with his Kryptonian family. I feel like you could have gone different ways. And like you said, there were moments where you could have had these
character
beautiful
building
moments where you're like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
And you just never got them.
Right.
So the entire time I just am going, what the crap is going on?
Yep.
And I feel like it doesn't make me want to see anything else from this. It doesn't make me want a sequel. It doesn't make me want to watch any more DC movies. And that, you know. So I feel like that's a definite fail because, again, jumping brands, but as a non-comic book lover, Marvel had me waiting on the next movie for 10 years. A girl waiting on the next comic book movie for 10 years. Yeah. If this was the start of that, you would have never got me to see a second one.
Right.
So I feel like for rebranding, you totally missed the mark.
Yes.
And
keep in mind,
I got nothing.
Yeah, this is supposed to be the beginning of a new era for DC.
And I have no desire to see what comes next. I have no desire to wait and see what you can put out. So I feel like you lost it there. And I think you could have done so much more.
I think, as I think about this film overall and what it means for DC, you created a film where I'm not supposed to really take anything seriously. why do I want to continue here? I don't care about the world you've created. I don't care about the characters you've created. Yes, you could have an amazing sequel to this film, and I may rewatch this film when that comes out, but the reality is, if you have an amazing sequel, I'll never probably watch this movie again.
I know.
Because nothing in this movie makes me care about anything. Now, you could blow me away with a sequel and make this a slightly better movie by tying things up and, fleshing some things out.
We'll see.
But this movie is made for, I feel, it's made for 20-somethings who have short attention spans, who just want to see eye candy and not think. So, unfortunately, I'm out, and my biggest reason, I think, to be out is because you cannot introduce Batman into this universe. I cannot imagine Batman walking into the room with this Superman and this Justice Gang. He would leave and say, I want nothing to do with any of you goofballs. Yeah. I'll do it on my own.
But even calling it Justice Gang, again, makes this seem like a spoof movie and not serious. Because it's like you're making fun of it.
Right. So, unfortunately, I'm not excited for where DC is going if this is where
Sorry,
you're
James,
starting us out.
It was not your best.
No. You did a good job with Guardians, but this is not.
I feel like you also took the movies you didn't get to put in the monsters you didn't get to put into the Guardians movie and just popped them in here. And sorry, that's a little sloppy.
Yes, everything just, Okay, good job turning Stitch from Disney into a kaiju. Because the creature, it is so Stitch. It's just him. And so it's just unimaginable. It's just boring and goofy and silly and unthreatening. There were a few good action scenes in some of it, but I just walk away with it just empty. Yeah. And so I'm just unfortunately done. I do want to end this by saying I like the actor that played Superman. He did a good job with the role. He just wasn't given enough to be Superman, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he could have made a good Superman. Superman
yes,
sucked.
Absolutely.
I think he could have made a good Superman.
Right.
If you would have given him a better script, I think he would have been a better Superman. Yes. But as of
this
right
feels
now...
I will say, this feels like James Gunn wrote this script over a weekend, and then...
A weekend at Bernie's, maybe.
Maybe. And then spent all of his time and money on something else. I can't even think, because there's nothing in the movie that makes me go, man, that was really an amazing shot. It was just empty. And I'm sure we could take time to discuss and destroy the different characters. We didn't talk about Sawblade hands, the moment where they're inside Elsa's castle, and instead of simply turning around, she transmorphs in her rear end. She does this
back bend and puts her feet up in the air, and then her head comes up through her body and out her butthole.
Yeah, and it's like she could have just turned around. That's what it feels like. Just so much unnecessary.
10 minutes longer.
And then the spoiler alert, the reveal that Ultraman is a clone, and the fact that the clone is controlled. Okay, ready for this? This is how you're going to be the most powerful man on Earth. With a 3-step process. Lex Luthor is watching through the eyes of
these little drones.
Of the drones. He has to see what's happening, decide what key or program to initiate in the clone. Then he has to yell it out and tell someone to key it in. That person then has to key it in, and then that signal has to go to the clone. And you're fighting the most powerful being on Earth. That is absolutely ridiculous, friends. Just stop and think of how redundant and ridiculous that is. Okay? It's stupid. But also, I just want to say this.
And he's completely destroyed when the dog bites the cameras. I mean, it's all taken down.
Yeah. I mean, it's over. It's like,
Oh, wait, I can't see. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It again is pulled straight from Guardians. It's the gold people.
Yeah. and I just want to say this just really quick in closing. We do realize that Superman escaped a black hole with little effort by blowing into it.
Yep, his freeze breath. Ooh.
Now, I know Superman can do this, but it was done with so little effort. I no longer believe that there's anything he can't do because he was able to, without any struggle, escape a black hole. Okay, that moment was ridiculous. It should have been a very climactic moment, and it was goofballs. Now, let's wrap this up with our rating. Let's review.
We didn't do our gospel moments.
This movie had no gospel moments.
I think but I mean, it should have. Because in the
needed it.
beginning,
It's
when it starts
Superman.
out with all the things, I mean, again, Superman is supposed to be your Christ figure.
Yes.
Because, I mean, it even goes down to he's around 30 when he
Something
starts
like
this.
that.
And
That was not a 30-year-old.
It was like, it should have been.
Right.
But it's not.
And
I
that's-
agree. Like, I'm not even going to say...
there's no moment where he takes a stand for it.
There's no stand for anybody.
And that moment where he's talking to Lex about being human, and he says things like, I get out of bed, and I put my shoes on, and I try to make the best decisions that I can.
I go one
each
step at a
day,
time."
One step at a time. I was like, whoa, this is your inspiring moment. Oh, and then the dog attacks, and it's over.
Which never leaves a mark. Dog completely attacks him, somehow rips the shirt sleeve
Breaks
off.
his arm.
I mean, he goes from having a sleeve to no sleeve, bare
Yes.
arm, and not a single scratch.
Yes, his face has some scratches on it.
But not his arm.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
So let's wrap this up with our kittens rating system. Let's review our kittens rating system, Ash. 5 kittens means it's near perfect or perfect. Ashley, is there any chance you would give this 5 kittens?
No.
4 kittens means it's great, but not perfect. And I say 5 kittens is near perfect because I don't know that a perfect film really exists. Maybe Jaws, but still. 5 kittens near perfect. 4 kittens great, but not perfect. 3 kittens is a mid film, middle of the road. 2 kittens means it was okay and I might rewatch it sometime. 1 kitten means I will never watch this film again no matter what. And then 0 kittens is a, what do we call it?
A litter box.
A litter box.
Our DNFs.
A DNF. No, that's a did not finish, right?
Yeah, that's what we said.
But
would be
I
our
will
litter
tell
box.
you, I will say for our audience,
There was a moment.
there was a moment where my wife was like, I could leave and just stop.
I mean, I would rather have my bladder rupture and die than walk out of a movie. And I was like, not worth it. Go to the bathroom.
And the funny thing
And I didn't miss a thing.
And the funny thing is, you got up at what was supposed to be the climactic moment of the
yeah.
earth ripping in half.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how
And you were
anticlimactic.
like, you know
I'll
what?
be back.
I just saw the lady with her little turtle getting on the bus. I think I'll be okay to go pee.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Anyway. So, Ash.
I want to say 1 kitten.
I know.
I want to say 1 kitten. I'm going to say 2 kittens, but that second kitten is like on the edge trying to jump out.
We don't
I may not can contain it in the box.
We don't do 1.5 or 2.5.
Yeah, we're not gonna split the kitten. That's just cruel.
No, you can't split a cat.
But the only way I will rewatch this is if
A sequel redeems
our
it.
son wanted to watch it and we watched it as a
that's
family,
right.
or
It's an amazing sequel.
someone had a really great sequel. You might could convince me to rewatch this one,
Right.
but you're gonna have to do some convincing. I
Yes.
might have to get another. You might have to watch That Thing You Do with me before I watch this one.
But that means I would want to watch this film. Oh, it's such a struggle.
All right, what about you?
I would have to say 2 kittens. It will probably be rewatched only for necessity's sake.
Yeah.
Some have said that it's better on a second viewing.
I don't know. Maybe they slept through part of it the second time.
Maybe they had a little too much to drink. I don't know.
They were on an apple pie high.
They were on an apple pie high, you know, a little too much Mr. Pibb. Who knows? But I want to give it a 1 to say never again, but I can't. It's not that bad. But it's definitely not a, hey, you know what I want to watch today? Let's watch James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah. I mean, when the little eyeball was like exploding, it was pretty colors, but
Oh man, what a moment where that needed to be a serious moment.
yeah, when he's going to turn himself in.
Well, he's reflecting. It's a reflective moment.
I mean, again, caricature, because you have that in the Man of Steel where he's going to turn himself into the government.
Right.
And that's a moment where him and Lois are talking, and he's like, I've got to do this. I've got to do this.
It's a
And he
struggle.
takes them in there.
Well, he goes to the
And it's-
church first and has
Yeah,
that
he talks to the
moment.
priest, and it's like, you know, it's a moment where he's saying, I'm surrendering myself to
Right.
you guys. And again, it's a caricature because you have them come together, him and Lois, which I assume is his apartment because it's this nice fancy apartment. All of a sudden, it's definitely not hers. And you have this moment, and then outside you have the rainbow exploding, and
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion in his bad boy band haircut floating around, batting
Right.
him with the green bat.
Yes, which was funny, but this is supposed to be a serious
Yes, this is supposed to be the moment where you see him, you know, broken about what to do,
Yes.
and it's just
Well, the superhero movies are in a bad place right now. And it's terrible writing, and it's just a mess. And this is not, and I do believe that you can make good movies, even now in an oversaturated market. But you can't go this route. This is the Ragnarok route of silly, goofy, nothing's important. We're going to destroy everything that you think, that you hold valuable, and make a joke out of everything. This is the same thing you did with Star Trek, same thing you did with Star Wars, same thing you've done with Indiana Jones, with every important franchise. You make it a joke, and then I check out, and then you wonder why nobody goes to see your movies. That's the reason. You've taken what we've loved, and you have dropped a deuce on it and said, if you don't like my deuce on top of your franchise, then there's something wrong with you.
yeah.
And guess what? I'm done. So, this is a Two Kitten film,
Yep.
and we hope you have enjoyed our review of this. We did not say that it was a spoiler-free review. We've told you many spoilers, but guess what? It doesn't matter because the film's not great, and the things we have said in this review don't. Even if you didn't know those things, they wouldn't make the film better. Is that right, Ash?
That's right.
Now we're going to go watch a real movie, which is Man of Steel.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Nerd House. Stay tuned for more. The adventure is just beginning. Please like and subscribe. Check out Mr. Justin Draws on YouTube.